All right, hey everybody. Welcome to our first amazing YouTube Live I'm Ben with eClincher, and today we have an amazing guest. He has done amazing things. His name is Deepak Shukla, and he's been a marathon runner. He's been a professional rapper, and for sure, professional, 100%. And he's also started his own agency, social media marketing consulting agency that helps people sell more, get more leads through all the various social media channels. And so far he's had what, 10,000 monthly visitors in 3 months, and he's basically making 6 figures already. And he's already asleep in the introduction. All right.
I'm embarrassed, dude, more than anything, dude.
That's good. That's a good start. It's a good start to be embarrassed.
Yeah. Anyway, Ben, eClincher, everybody's listening. Thank you for having me on, dude. And I'm going to eat my banana whilst we talk. I hope you don't mind.
That is so good. You're representing the healthy lifestyle.
Exactly.
So I want to ask you my first question, man. I want to ask you the first question. What made you start this business? What was inspiring for you?
So, dude, I'm 30, and it's going to sound like a fucking cliche, but it took me a long time to kind of figure out what it was that I was passionate about by doing a lot of things that I thought that I was meant to do. So I came out of school, I went to Deloitte, started working as a tax consultant because I was an English major, right? So it's like, oh, well, getting a job at Deloitte, this is 2007, 2008, credit crunch, subprime debt, blah, blah, blah. And, I'm Indian, right? British Indian. My folks are like, oh my God, son, Deloitte is amazing. You should go. Like, all the fucking, like, I'm their first generation Indian, right? But fucking cool, right? Great values and all that kind of stuff. It's been, I went there, fucking hated it, dude. It was like, oh my God. It's like, it's nothing like how I'm being now. It was, Deepak, have you done the report? And it's like, dude, it was like that. And it was like so the company is obviously great. It's not to denigrate like Deloitte, but it was a lifestyle that was not for me. So I quit that. And then I pursued this path of entrepreneurship, and I tried a bunch of different things, right? I raised money a couple of times. I started a tutoring agency. I was a professional rapper. I had a couple of recording studios. And to be honest with you, after a lot of, I don't even call them missteps, right? It's a little bit like the late Steve Jobs' quote, where he talks about taking the calligraphy class or whatever it was when he was at university as a student. He's like, don't worry, like, the dots will connect. And Jack Ma, the Alibaba guy, talks about it as well. He's like, spend your 20s just learning. And there's a famous speech, spend your 20s like learning and doing shit. In your 30s, like, focus on one thing and be excellent at it. So I turned 30 last year, August. I kind of had a breakdown because I went off to try and do some military stuff, and I was like, I love the sport, right? Sport's a consistent thing. That sucks. But the one thing that I've always liked across everything that I've done is communication and growth. And marketing was the perfect marriage for that, to be honest with you. And it kind of was it was staring me in the face the whole time. And I started back in like November. So it's been like 7 months, dude. But it's going like better than anything else I've done historically, because it took me probably doing all of that different stuff to work out, what is it that, I can do that I would wake up in the morning and kind of do for free. And this is it, dude. I really enjoy marketing. And that's probably also why I'm doing better at this than I've done with anything else I've done historically. So that's it.
That's good. So just find the one thing that you like and go for it.
Yeah, exactly. And if not sure if you don't like it, if you're not sure that you like it, that's fine. But if it inhibits you from taking an action, you spend like 2 weeks trying to debate stuff, to hell with that, dude. Just fucking try it. If you think you don't like it, try it for a day and get some confirmation, and then move on and just tick it off the list. The best way to have find your best experience is to have like a ton of bad experiences, or a ton of experiences you thought would be awesome, and then move from there. And I'm a big advocate of that. It's like, well, dude, I hate accounting. Have you tried it? Well, no, it just looks boring. I'm like, well, okay, but that's fine. If you come to that conclusion, then great. But if you're like, I'm not sure that I might like this, and then you start looking it up and you spend a week, you get a lot of like analysis paralysis people, right? That want like well thought through plans with structures and possible outcomes. And this whole like, agile versus like waterfall methods and scrum methodology. And I've been reading up on this shit lately because I'm trying to manage people. And I'm like, what's the best management style? I ask like a management consultant, and I get like this stuff. Dude, it's all about action, I think, in my views. Like just
do it.
Try it and find out what happens on the other side. Like what we're doing now, dude. I think it's awesome, and I'm glad that we got here.
For sure. So how much research did you do before you started doing this last gig?
I didn't really do any. I just decided I was going to do it. I mean,
Amazing.
why? Okay. I think digital marketing is growing fast. I mean, for me, it's like there's rarely any kind of new ideas. There's just iterations upon ideas that already exist. Better versions of like, so the latest thing that's come out in the marketing world is ManyChat, a new Facebook bot messenger that I'm beginning to get asked if I know how to do it, right? I don't know how to do it, but I'll just watch a fucking YouTube video, work out how to do it, and then I'll kind of learn along the way, right? I started it because marketing is already established, isn't it? Dude, I think for me it was clear that it was a market that had an audience, but I guess the real question perhaps then is like it's a competitive segment. So what made me decide to go into it? Because a lot of people are like, dude, marketing's hard. Everyone's a marketer these days. Everyone,
Right.
but dude, there's so many fucking cowboys out there as well. If you're actually like good at what you do, then you can make a killing, bro. I think, but you have to be good, right? It can't be smoke. It can't be smoke and mirrors. It can be for a little while, but you will get found out as soon as you get put in the room with someone like yourself who does come from an inbound marketing background. And if I talk to you about how buffer is the latest and greatest thing, you're going to look at me like an idiot, because from one marketer to another, like talking about something like that is just silly. So I would say that if the market already exists, which it does, then great. Beyond that, if you find you have a passion for it, then go for it. And as to your USPs, dude, I think that unless we're talking software and we're talking technology, which is obviously slightly different, this is an agency. It's service driven, right? It's not
Right.
subject to the same. It's very much founded upon my ability to execute. So I think that if you build a solid team, then you can do great things, bro.
All right. And so, yeah, the cool thing, I saw you right away on all these different platforms, Quora, and you do Skillshare, Udemy stuff, and you're everywhere. So which ones you're using for your business the most, and what kind of techniques you could share?
Yeah, cool. So good question, dude. So I use right. So the place that I get direct sales from is angel.co. It's great for looking at venture kind of back startups, angel startups, people that are like seed funded. You have Upwork. Upwork is the unicorn in the freelancing world. It does whatever. It's a great place. It accounts for probably 70 to 80% of kind of new business. And then I do stuff through LinkedIn and Twitter. I've done a little bit of stuff from. And all of those other channels that you just mentioned, though, dude, right? They all support these sales, because having that other stuff has allowed me to be very quickly positioned as a thought leader. It engenders trust. It makes people recognize that, oh, Deepak actually does know, I imagine on the basis of all that I've seen, he does know what he's doing. Because, and so in a sense, I can't separate the two. But in terms of direct acquisition, which is, everyone's like, dude, how do you make money? They're the channels that I use. But all of that other stuff helps me convert, because people see the Udemy stuff, people see the Skillshare stuff. If someone's going to spend like a couple of $1,000, they're going to look you up. Like they're not. It's not kind of a $50 purchase for an ebook. And even these days, if you make a $50 purchase, dude, you probably will look someone up, because there's stuff there's so much free content. There's like $7 content and stuff. So it's all part of the marketing mix.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense, man. So another question for eClincher, we're trying to put more time and effort into content. The content's huge these days. You have to get yourself out there, do a blog, do ebooks, all that stuff. So how much time do you put into making new content for your company?
Dude, I'm fucking terrible at the moment, to be honest with you. I need to do more. This is part of what this is. The company is, of course, very new, and so we're 7 months in. The reality is that it's entirely bootstrapped, right? So there's been like real issues with like, where do we divide our time? I have got content as an ongoing thing. It is always going up. The stuff, of course, we're doing this. There's blog posts that I have going out. So I am doing content on a regular basis. Content is important, and I'd say that I guess my advice there is for the real important stuff, the stuff that you're doing through your own channels, do it yourself, right? You can't replace yourself. However, we'll also probably bring in content marketing teams, something that I'm exploring, because there's certain types of content that I don't have the resources in-house to produce on a regular basis. And a lot of the marketers do the same things, like the Neil Patels, Neil Patel, I know, is one. Probably a lot of them have like ghostwriters that write in their own voice. I'm sure like Ramit Sethi probably has one as well. So I'd say that that's probably the way that you scale it. But the one thing that's a core component, I think, to building kind of brand visibility is instilling yourself in a brand, because no one can replace like Ben at eClincher, because you're Ben. It's your glasses and your beard and your kind of quirky style with the ceiling in the background. It's fucking me with my banana, right? And it's ironic how I've gone into some calls and stuff, dude, and people just want to work with me because they engage with me as a person. And what I offer in terms of content is a useful tool, but it's about the brand affinity. And that's something that I've realized more and more, that I've been able to grow faster because people actually find me interesting as a person, right? And that is what I'd say that needs to be baked into your content marketing. If you just go out and put out stuff, how to do 1 million views on Pinterest, how to do 1 million views on SlideShare, how to do, it's the problem with that is that it's a commodity, right? And I think that that's the one thing that I would say as you do content and as you scale it and as you grow, make sure that, like, Pat Flynn does a really good job of it, right, on his podcast. The one thing about that you didn't know about Pat Flynn, etc., and he has this, he does have this brand of like the dad at home who's a real nice guy. He's got like his family, and then, you know, Noah Kagan, he's got kind of the beard, he's kind of cool, a bit almost a bit hipstery and stuff, and he's got a brand that kind of really quite works well for him. And there's other people that are quite amorphous. Like, there's so many blogs that we probably read that we don't like. So like Noah Kagan is someone that I kind of connect with personally because of how he's built his brand, and you feel it's baked into like his content. Whereas I look at, for example, someone like HubSpot. HubSpot are very amorphous. They're massively successful, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel a distinct sense of brand voice within HubSpot. HubSpot is the articles that just come up because they are SEO optimized. They've got so much content and it's great, right? However, when you don't have, in absence of having the resources that a company like HubSpot has, what do? You have to create, I think, a brand that people will love. MailChimp is a great example of it. Look at MailChimp branding versus like Aweber, right? And I haven't seen their revenue comparisons. But when you think of MailChimp, you think about a funny and quite nice brand, and you don't necessarily think the same thing about Aweber. You see Aweber as like the cheapest market player, as like the commodity, as like, okay, cool, Aweber's like that. That's often kind of what I get told. Or Bluehost is another example of it. So I think that that's really important with how you grow, and that relates back to what we were talking about off air about the Gary Vaynerchuk thing. That people want reality, bro, I think. And you bring that to the table and you bring your skill set. I find that people connect with me so much more when it's like, oh yeah, man, you know, I moved back into my mom's, she got a broken ankle, fucking have to hang the clothes out every day and she pisses me off. But it's, people find it funny and they get behind you, and it helps, and it's honesty and all those things I think really matter. And if you infuse that into your story and your content, then it really kind of pays dividends over time, I think.
That's huge. Yeah, you're right. 100%. My last question to you, man, is a completely serious business question. How many tattoos do you have?
I'm in the middle of covering my like entire torso, dude. So like fucking, I just got my stomach done the other day, dude. Fucking killed me, bro. Felt like I've got Wolverine on my stomach, right? And it felt like I was getting disemboweled. So I sent a picture to like my girlfriend, and she was like, "Why have you fucking got Wolverine on your stomach?" And I'm like, "Yeah, because it's cool, right?" And then I was like, "I've got to send her something nice that I've done, right?" So I got a tattoo here. You can't see it in the picture. It's a tiny one. I got like stars and like it's like quite twinkly and stuff. So I sent it to her, and I fucking forgot, bro, that in the middle of it I have "Go hard or go home" as the quote. So then she looks at it, she's like, what the hell? So I have a lot, and the aim is that I cover my entire torso. I won't do hands. I won't do hands and face or neck. But yeah, no, I have quite a lot, bro.
That's good, man. It's brilliant. I just want to summarize a few things I heard you say that were pretty great. The first is, or the last one is that we should really start with is find who you are and represent yourself honestly. And then your brand, people are not going to buy your product, they're going to buy you. So if you're fascinating, if you're interesting, if you're likable, people are going to connect to you as a person rather than your brand. And then, you know, if you're 30 or more, if you're under 30, don't even just go party, do your thing, whatever you want. But no, but really, whenever you're ready to start something, you know, don't try to research too much. Start with action, start doing things, start learning things, and just do them. Just practice. Like Gary Vaynerchuk says, just practice. And then just find the one thing that you're good at, and you can try many different things, and just find that one thing and just run with it. And if you have the brand, and if you're running with it, and also if you're using all the social media tools available, then I think we both agree that that's going to be a good formula for success.
Absolutely, 100%, dude. I think that the biggest of all of that, fabulous summary, by the way. I thought it was superb. That was good. It's really good. Execution matters more, right? I mean, I try literally 100 different things in a day. I've signed up to so many like directories for per traffic to see if they'll work, and I had no idea that Upwork would work for me. Other people, I've told my exact formula. It's not worked for them because everybody's different. You got to find not only your passion, but you got to find your acquisition model, and it's different for everybody. There's people out there that are crushing it. For example, on Udemy, right? That do like $30,000 a year. I did like 6 courses. I've got 10 courses on Udemy. I never really made Udemy work, right? But now it's like Upwork is working massively. I've got 2 new people that I brought on board. They're generating work. So you never really, as much as you plan, you're better off spending 6 weeks, not kind of, okay, I set up a WordPress website. I did my first blog. Bro, in 6 weeks, you could set up a WordPress website. You could write 15 blogs. You could start a YouTube video. You could test by the data rather than test based upon assumptions. And I think that is the one thing that served me the most. I've had so many crap marathons of the 20 that I've done, but doing some of those crap ones got me into a place where I could, you know, run marathons week on week without getting tired. And it took me just not thinking about it, being like, fuck it, I'm going to book it. I'm going to do 4 in 4 weeks. They're like, Deepak, you can't do that. You need to prepare. It's only in a month and a half away. I was like, I'll work it out as I go along. But you plant your anchor, and then I think everything else follows, and it's just about kind of starting.
That's great, man.
All right, dude.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I think we might have lost each other.
All right, great, man. Dude, well, I super appreciate it. It was really nice to have you here on our show, on our set. This is our set.
Dude,
and for sure, man, we'll be in touch.
All right.
And tune in for next week. We're gonna do another interview with someone also equally amazing.
Perfect, dude. I'll tune in. I'm looking forward to it, bro.
Thank you so much. And if anyone has any comments, questions, concerns, anything, just leave it in the comments for us. If you have anyone you want us to interview, or if you want us to interview you, put it in the comments. We'll be in touch. Thanks, Deepak.
See you, bro.